Support for the show comes from Mercury, the fintech that brings all the ways you use money into a single, streamlined product. Because starting a business is hard enough, and the stakes are too high to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Here at Serve, Mercury's been a game changer when it comes to organizing our invoices, tracking our billing, and most importantly, being sure we can take care of the people that make this show possible with on-time payroll. Visit Mercury.com to join over 200,000 entrepreneurs who use Mercury to do more for their businesses. Mercury, banking that does more. Mercury is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided through Choice Financial Group, column NA, and Evolve Bank and Trust, members FDIC. Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Served, brought to you by Mercury. I am in a hotel room in London. Do not mind this head in the background. It's my wife. She couldn't be more bored by what we're talking about. But we had a day. We had a day, producer Mike and Techie Sean. I was a distinguished gentleman for all of 4 hours.
Distinguished athlete guest in the royal box.
In the royal box. I felt really they started announcing who all the people, one, we were late driving in, which is a no-no. I literally got a text from Tim Henman and be like, this is going to be a hell of a way to lose your membership. Sweet. Cool. When the guy who the hill is named after, is couldn't have said it in a nicer way. But we made it there just in time, but kind of flying blind, didn't know who all was around us, and there were some badasses, and I felt like the smelly kid in class a little bit. There were some pretty sweet athletes. Saw Billie Jean King, which is always great. Then watched Sinner run through Martinez. He had a bum shoulder, and he had to have had a bum shoulder because I'm pretty sure Mike could serve bigger than he was serving today.
No, that's not. Get out of hand.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, he wasn't throwing it. Sinner looked great. I still don't think Jannik has reached top flight here. I don't think we know what he is in this tournament yet. Right? If you're throwing 92 miles an hour to the center of the box on first serves, we're not getting a true accounting of Jannik Sinner. I'll tell you this, though. Seeing it that close, the ball sounds so different off of his racket than any other human on earth. He's like a human rubber band. It's like an explosion every single time. Outside of a serve, I've never made that sound with a ball on a racket in my life.
Really?
It was
just any time he can square one up,
it's just this thump. Pops. And then he's able to take balls that are, the wrist work is insane. I don't know how he with that much lag. I don't know how he times it as consistently as he does. But I still think he was, trying to paint lines. I think if he just goes, his ball is so heavy. I think if he just controls middle, it's almost like he's in a rush to get things done. And I don't know that anyone can attack him. If he plays as big as he's playing through the middle of the court, I think he's used to playing close to the lines. He'd be 4 feet in from a line, and Martinez wasn't even and it's not like Martinez hustled his ass off. And by the way, didn't his shoulder was hurting and just handled it like a pro, competed the entire way, didn't whine and cry about it at all. Just did it, and he, took his beating from Sinner. But when he guessed the wrong way, Sinner, his margin could have been 4 feet inside the sideline. I was like, there's almost no difference when he tries to paint the lines and when he's 3 feet inside of it as far as result. I think he can almost bring it in a little bit, and most people kind of get a little bit riskier.
What do you mean by that? You mean
meaning I don't know that when he's just hitting a massive ball cross court, he rarely goes 3 in a row cross court on any surface, right? He'll go one. He wants to always just bully you, to the corners. I think if he's just bullying and open up the shoulders, his ball is so heavy on the surface. If he pins you, kind of like prime Novak would kind of pin you, and you can't get out of the middle and you can't attack him. I don't know. I don't know what you do with it. I don't know what you do with it. He was missing. He actually, 1-3-1, and we're, I would say criticizing, but I'm going, he's this good on the surface, and I still think there's room. I still think there's room. It's not a natural surface. It doesn't fit his patterns. I think he can tighten up the court because his ball strength is so massive. It's just, he hits it with such speed. I don't know how you get out of it if he's just playing through you as opposed to like hard and around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, so like I was like super impressed. The ball is nuts. And also like I don't know what you do with his stock rally ball, that he gets away from. He switches directions very quickly. Now, obviously Cahill's a genius, and maybe it's that fine line where you don't want to change something if that's like his instinct and you're just hoping it'll land at some point, but man, he can thump it, man. It's just I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know already. But Iga, I don't know how it looked on TV. Iga was lights out. Iga's in this tournament to win it. I'm just telling you. Like she dialed, and I don't, matchups, and that's a tough matchup on grass, like on paper with the Danimal and someone that hits hard flat through the court. Iga's serve, she was thumping it today. 118, 116. I don't remember her serving that big before, moving the second serve around, throwing the toss up and like getting someone to check and then catching it and kind of but she was in full flight today and not trying to run around forehands like we had talked about in the draw show, taking the backhand on the bounce. She just looks way more comfortable on grass this year. The other years, you feel like, okay, she's the best player in the world, by far the best player in the world on clay, but looks a little awkward on grass. And this year, it's like, oh, she might not be the best player in the world on those surfaces this year, but for some reason, like she's settled a little bit on grass. I mean, 2-4 or 2-3 against Danimal on grass. It was, her serve looked great, movement looked great, ball flight wasn't super toppy and loopy. It was like getting through the court. She looked great. Novak is just Novak. Like, he's in this tournament to win it also. Like, I can't be told that he's not going to be in the last four. Everything he does well at this point in his career works on the grass.
Yeah, they were saying in the post match just how, it was like watching vintage Novak, the way he was like moving around, and granted, he's playing a countryman, but I think just how relaxed he was in the post match interview, and he's referencing his daughter dancing and their little traditions they have. He just seems like in another stratosphere right now of like comfortability.
Yeah, I mean, that's all fine against Kecmanovic. Like, the priority of your day can be your daughter dancing and like doing TikToks and stuff. It's different when it's like what I saw with Sinner, what you see with Alcaraz. Novak hits the ball as clean as he's ever hit it. That's not the issue. Serves as well as he's ever hit it. It's the corners, right? Getting in and out of the corners and being bullied to those corners. And listen, his year this year, semis of 2 slams, is better than most of us chuckers in our best years. And, he would tell you, he said it. Like, I'm not as fast as I was. I don't move out of the corners as fast as I have before. So I think he still will look very Novak-esque against someone who can't really bruise him to those corners, right? He can still control the middle of the court. It changes when you get the old thumper Sinner or the old chuckster on the other side. But I still like him in this tournament. I said it during the French Open that I still think he can win this tennis tournament. Now, will he? We'll see. But everything that this version of Novak, which isn't prime, I'm not going to make it prime. There's nothing wrong with it not being prime Novak. Everything he does translates better to grass right now in his game. And he's here to stay. He's not going to be scared by a semifinal, making a run. He hasn't put a lot of shot clock on the body either. That's big for him. At upper 30s, you don't want to have, Carlos can handle a 5-setter. You can handle a tough 4-setter. You can handle kind of getting through this first week with some bruising. Novak has barely been on the court, which I think is perfect for him. It's not like he needs to play matches to realize that he's the best ever. Like, I mean, he doesn't need to learn how to hit a tennis ball. But he looked great. Andreeva, statement match, by the way, today against Haley Baptiste, 1-3. Still trying to understand if she's good on grass. Still maybe, and grass is the last surface to come around for a lot of people, except for like Becker, who wins it at 17. But she found something today. That was a statement. And I don't say statement win like everyone says statement win. I think we over-exaggerate certain terms. This was like, if I'm in the locker room and I'm thinking Andreeva might not have figured out grass yet, and then she goes out and beat Baptiste, who played well in Roland Garros, has played well here, 1-3 on grass. That's a beating. Navarro Krejcikova. Was watching that one actually from the Royal Box. There's like monitors below the wall, so you can yeah, it's pretty sick. So we're monitoring that. You know what? I think with Krejcikova, she's battled so many injuries, and you can practice as much as you want, like match fitness, going the distance. You could tell that she was not well physically today, and I don't know if there was a sickness involved, but really struggling towards the end of that match. And I don't know how you wouldn't be. She's barely played tennis this year. I think it was an unbelievable result, winning a couple matches and taking the racket out of Emma's hand in the first round. I mean, you see that the kind of greatness is there, but the body has to agree with you, right? If you can't short reps, and credit to her for trying to return and defend her title. My sneaking suspicion is, and I don't know anything, I have no inside information. Sneaking suspicion is that if this is a 250, a 500, or 1,000, we would not have seen her here. Right? Like you need time. And maybe and I'm not saying she's injured, but you need to get healthy and you need to be able to train long enough while you're healthy, right? To be ready to go through 2 weeks. It's not just, okay, my elbow feels better, I can jump into matches, or, my knee feels better and I can jump into matches, right? You need to get reps in. It's not like riding a bike. It's riding a bike like if I play Techie Sean in a baseline game to 11. It's not like riding a bike if I have to beat Emma Navarro and a bunch of other players. So props to her for even kind of coming to defend her title. She was obviously feeling it was emotional at 5-3 down, was like crying in the backstop. So there was obviously something going on there. But, Navarro, to her credit, like always, head down my side of the court, get through it. She needed this result and she got it. Ben Shelton is rolling. After the minute thing, now the matchups have been good for him so far. But coming into the tournament, he looked pretty average on the grass coming into this tournament. So when you haven't had a lot of matches on a surface and build up, you want some comfortable matchups in those the first week. He's gotten those. I think he's found his form, right? All you want is to be able to survive long enough to figure some stuff out. And credit to Ben. 2 years ago, does he play, badly coming in and then figure out his footing kind of midstream? I don't know. And that's probably the difference between Ben Shelton now versus Ben 2 years ago, which is real progress. And wait, did you guys hear that?
No.
That was my jaw blowing up again.
It's been getting butchered in the back.
You didn't hear that?
For about 3 days.
You didn't hear that though? Seriously?
No.
You didn't hear Towson blowing up my jaw again with a Rabakana?
Torpedoing it.
I mean, the redraw show is going to take days, Mike.
I mean, we might as well just start from scratch and not even acknowledge it.
Redraw show? What do you mean
it's just
redraw
a new
show?
draw. It's just a new draw show.
I wasn't trying. Were you trying?
I
wasn't even trying.
I don't even know half the names I wrote on mine.
I'd be super embarrassed if I was one of those analysts that actually looked at the draw before they made predictions. I wouldn't be able to walk around the venue at all.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
One person I do want to talk about is Belinda Bencic.
Yeah. Talk.
She's looked great. And after her match, she talked about how, she feels like she's enjoyed tennis more since becoming a mother. She feels more relaxed and is appreciative of the conditions the WTA has started to change. And obviously says there's a lot more to do, but I think it's just awesome to watch her make a run. Got a chance to watch her play a little bit in person.
Did you?
Just great story. Yeah.
Yeah, she can strike the tennis ball. She has this movement where she gets in the outside foot and then is always forward on like every shot. Ball goes through the court here. Props. Listen, if we're going to criticize the governing bodies, let's give them props when they do something great. That's really cool to hear that they're stepping up and helping mothers that want to come back and play this game. Check out the Love All episode with Kim, Sophie, and Belinda Bencic. It was awesome. I learned a lot. I liked her before. I liked her more after. I think she's awesome. I also think it's cool now that when someone comes back post motherhood, now it's like, oh, that's happening. That's great. It's become like people believe they can do it, right? It used to just be this thing where it was like this massive story. When Kim did it, massive thing because it was, and I'm sure people have done it before Kim, but now it's normalized, and I think that's amazing. Like I think there's never going to be anything normal between doing something as psychotically intense as what pro tennis players do, while also doing something that's as psychotically intense as being a mother, right? And to kind of juggle those and make it look like Bencic is making it look, just props. Amazing. I was in the middle of having a self-important rant about Towson blowing up my draw mic. I don't appreciate you interrupting that. So Rybakina is gone. Oh, God. Demon rolls against Holmgren. It's always good when my notes, I'm like, I can't read the Samsonova rolls. I actually think we had that. Dimitrov rolls. Kaboli beats Mensik 2-4-2. I didn't see it. I don't know if anyone watched it.
I haven't seen any of it.
But you were on a plane all day. But
yeah,
Menchika, he's not looked great since Miami, right? I think it was we felt like Miami was a rival, and he might be arriving still. And that's not saying a terrible thing. It's not a criticism. It's just you can't skip steps, right? You play great in Miami. You have an amazing week. The top 10 players, the top 5 players, they reload quickly and they do it again. And that's so hard. It's impossible for anyone to get there, stay there. But Kaboli, 2-4-2 on grass. I don't know how it works. Maybe leave it in the comments if you watched it, because I've seen Menchik serve. I've seen the action he gets on it. I've seen the pace, and I don't know how someone breaks in that many times on grass in short order. So Alexandrova gets through. And that's kind of it, Mike. I don't know what else I have for you. It was just a beautiful day. Wore a tie all day.
Yeah, I liked your tie. Wimbledon colors. The guys at Tabor hooked you up, huh?
No, it wasn't that, Mike, you simpleton. That's the member tie for Wimbledon, you douche. Jeez.
I meant your jacket.
The jacket, that's from Tabor. Props to Tabor. And our little place in Charlotte.
Yeah, I do want
to take a second because we have a lot of our family, okay, but people we know also affected by the floods in Texas. Just looks terrible. We'll have more info maybe by tomorrow. We'll get a little bit more research about anybody doing relief work there, because that is just a tragic story that seemingly was a rainstorm that they thought was quasi-normal until it turned extremely not normal. So it's a place that I care about. My mom is from there. She's fine. She wasn't in town, but everybody's houses have damage, floating down rivers. So as we're being self-indulgent, like a conversation like this, where we do a stupid little tennis show and we take ourselves really seriously, everyone take a pause. Brooke and I did it last night, and let's have empathy for people, and let's also have gratitude for what's going right. That's all I got. I don't need anything else from you, Mike. I don't know how you're gonna follow that one. Kind of took it down a little bit there.
No, we'll do some research, get some stuff in the links in the bios, and get some stuff on socials. See how we can help. We'll have something for you tomorrow if you want to support. But as always, we appreciate you watching our dumb little show, Quick Served. We're dumb. Who's not dumb? Mercury, because they're very nice for sponsoring our dumb little show. But this has been Quick Served. We'll see you tomorrow. I will not be in the Royal Box tomorrow. I will have a grounds pass, and I will be back to my reality. Cheers. Support for the show comes from Mercury, the banking product that does it all. No, seriously. No more navigating a patchwork of apps and services to keep your business finances in check. Now you can do it all: invoices, bill pay, reimbursements, financial management, and more from one easy, streamlined product. How do I know? I've tried out Mercury myself. Visit Mercury.com to join over 200,000 entrepreneurs who use Mercury to do more for their businesses. Mercury, banking that does more. Mercury is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided through Choice Financial Group, Column NA, and Evolve Bank and Trust, members FDIC.